If you've been watching the show throughout this month, you know we're talking about bullying and how to stop it, looking at headlines and cases throughout every state in this country, especially here in South Texas. But there's one issue of bullying we have not talked about, and that is cyberbullying. Now, to recap the definition of cyberbullying, it's the use of electronic communications to bully a person, typically by sending messages of an intimidating or threatening nature. And statistically, there are 11 facts about this. 37% of young people between the ages of 12 and 17 have been bullied online. 30% have had it happen more than once. 95% of teens in the U.S. are online, and the vast majority of the internet to access the internet on the mobile device. 23% of students reported they've said they've done something to mean or cruel another person online. 27% reported that they've experienced the same from someone else. 15% of teen girls have been targeted at least 4 different kinds of abusive online behaviors compared to 6% with boys. Half of LGBTQ students experience online harassment, a rate higher than average. 42% of those surveyed experiencing harassment on the platform with Instagram. 83% of people believe social media companies should be doing more to tackle cyberbullying on their platform, because Instagram's now doing restrict. 16% of young people have witnessed online bullying, but most do not intervene. Only 1 in 10 victims will inform a parent or a trusted adult of their abuse. And 4 out of 5 students, 81%, say they would be more likely to intervene in instances of cyberbullying if they do it anonymously. Going to the statistics, 9% began abusing alcohol and or drugs. 14% developed an eating disorder. 20% started skipping class. 24% stopped using social media altogether. 25% engaged in self-harm. 26% detected their social media profiles. 26% had suicidal thoughts. 47% developed depression, while 41% developed social anxiety. But overall, 36.5% of people feel they have been cyberbullied in a lifetime, and 17.4% have reported it happened at some point within the last 30 days. 60% of teenagers have experienced some sort of cyberbullying, and 70% of teenagers have reported someone spreading rumors about them online. 87% of young people have seen cyberbullying occurring online. 97% of teenagers are connected to the internet. 85% of them are using social media. But where are people being cyberbullied? The highest one ever, 42% for Instagram. Lowest has to be from Twitter and YouTube. According to this pie chart, 64% are in appearance, 20% for other, academic 25%, race is 17%, sexuality is 15%, financial status is 15%, 11% is religion. But we have to put an end to this right now. And there are probably some articles relating to this and in our schools. Well, there's probably no several articles, so let's catch up on COVID real quick, and then let's catch up on COVID, then we'll move on here. So, in the last day, there's no new cases here in the state or in the county. Vaccinations, 75.9, 63.2, which is pretty good. And just today, and 0 cases for the week. Which means we're probably seeing a pattern here. Good. 14, 13. No new cases. That's good. Total cases in October was 1. That's good. It's really good. So we have to go and make sure we wear those masks. We stay socially distant. We hand wash. We disinfect our areas. And etc. If your child's under 2, no mask. If your child's medical condition, they need to be, you gotta let something, you're exempt. You're exempt from the mask mandate. If you're religion, it's the same thing. Also, don't leave quarantine. If you're quarantined, stay within 5 days. After the 5th day, get tested again. That's basically how it works. All right. Coming up next, there's an incident of bullying in Jamestown. We'll give you the very latest. And just today, Dr. Phil released an episode called Bullied to Death. We'll show you a portion of that episode. Stay with us. Just hours ago in Buffalo, New York, in Jamestown High, there is a case of bullying happening. Take a look.
Developing tonight in Jamestown, police say they have recovered a body and they're calling this a suspicious situation. Police say they found the body of a white man in a wooded area behind East 2nd Street right around noon today. Authorities now trying to confirm the identity of that body.
Wasn't it?
Now to a parent's outrage over a video circulating on social media that shows what she says is her young son being bullied at school. We do want to warn you, the video is extremely disturbing. Tonight, our Kristen Moran went to Jamestown, where that mother is demanding some kind of action while school officials react to what happened.
Watch as a Jamestown high school student confronts a classmate right outside the high school, asking him to get on the ground.
Sorry, bro. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
You can hear screams and laughter coming from other kids nearby as the boy yells for the other student to get on his knees and kiss his boot. After shouting at the boy, a slap to the head.
He got humiliated and everybody around him just laughed. Nobody said anything. Nobody did anything.
Raquel Diaz is the mother of the boy at the receiving end of the harassment. She says she found out about this video after a teacher called her. The disturbing video from a few weeks ago has now made the rounds on social media.
It's bad. It's a bad feeling. No one should have to feel this way.
Now Diaz wants justice for her son.
No kid should have to feel alone like he did. We as parents shouldn't have to be worrying about this issue. You know, like, our children go to school to be safe.
She says this incident points to a much larger problem with safety in Jamestown public schools, a problem worrying her and something she feels isn't being handled properly.
Not only for mine, because I've gotten so many messages from other parents who are sympathetic but also going through the same thing.
Worried for their kid.
Yeah.
We take these things, and especially something like this, extremely seriously. We have an absolutely zero tolerance policy for this sort of thing.
Superintendent Kevin Whitaker watched the video. He calls it highly inappropriate and disrespectful to Diaz's son. Since the video was taken, he tells me the school has taken disciplinary action.
I wish we had known the situation itself was going to happen so that we could have prevented it. And it also makes me make sure that we are doubling down on our preventative efforts.
According to the National Bullying Prevention Center, 1 in 5 students is bullied every year, with a slightly higher percentage of bullying happening to boys. Here in Jamestown, Whitaker says an investigation is underway. Diaz is now taking a stand for not only her son, but also other students, so something like this doesn't happen again.
Unfortunately, it happened to my son. It shouldn't have happened to any kid for somebody to start paying attention, but something's gotta give.
Whitaker says that soon the school district will be rolling out a See Something, Say Something program where students can anonymously submit tips and concerns that school leaders need to be aware of. Meantime, Diaz says that she and other parents will be hosting a rally in light of this incident ahead of Thursday's school board meeting. We're in Jamestown. Krista Moran, 7 News.
Difficult to watch, right?
We just hope that young man is okay.
And I'll say this, I'll take one moment. If you're standing around and watching that young man get teased and taunted in that way, hey kids, do something about it. Do
Absolutely.
better. You have to do better.
Yeah, that could impact someone for a very long time.
All right.
And if you're videotaping this, and if you're videotaping that incident, you need to stop. Stop. Take a stand and say, hey, that's enough. Get up out of here. You can go home. Now, over 10 years ago, there was a skit from a channel named Blood Blitz. Yeah, it was Blood Blitz, where it's all about Rob's rants and all. So he had a skit like this. So, and it really got to me. So let's take a look.
Don't respect yourself, you're not going to respect others. If you don't respect yourself, you're not going to respect others.
You know, some people say I'm weird on the job or something like that. Not weird, though. It's really...
We have a situation involving 2 Caucasian males.
What the heck?
Hey kid, give me your iPhone 4, I'll lick your face!
I'm not gonna give this to you.
Kid, I'm a bully on the edge, a rebel without a cause, a grandma with a blouse.
But it's my birthday.
That's mine, boy.
Is there bullying going on right here?
Yeah, I just took this kid's iPhone 4.
Wait, so it was your iPhone? Yeah, it was a birthday present. So you're not supposed to have any iPhones or iPods in school. Actually, you look like a good kid.
Yeah.
Would you mind escorting to the office for me?
My
No.
pleasure.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You're gonna have a good job, sugar.
Oh, God. So it's always good, you know, bringing bad people to justice.
Another situation involving...
I'm on it.
Next time you'll give me all your lunch money, right? Yeah, that's right. Next time I want enough money to afford the extra large pizza.
Now this guy. You want some too?
Yeah, come on.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Picking on this little kid right here? What do you honestly think you're doing? You're cool or something?
Get out of here, man. Come on, what are you, a joke?
Thanks, man. You can go home, kid. Sorry about all this.
We haven't had the last of you, man.
Now, in the case of that skit, what should have happened? Well, here's what would have happened. If the kid who, that little phone incident that happened, here's what would have happened. Told him, give him back his phone, and would have explained the rules, like, you're not supposed to have this and that. Now, for the pizza thing, if, just say, well, it's good, like, that's an, okay, go home, you should be ashamed of yourselves, okay, that's standing up to a bully. But he didn't have to, like, put a smoothie in his head. He didn't even have to. But, I'm glad that skits like this can really help. And in future references, we're going to have the Blood Blitz High School Madness from his channel, like, littering and, tests, and students disrespecting their teachers. It could be great. We'll see what happens. But one thing that's not fun is being bullied to death. Well, up next, we're going to show you a clip. We're going to show you some clips from Dr. Phil's newest episode, which aired today. Which aired today about being bullied to death. Stay with us. Now for an update on Uvalde. This is the latest development that happened 8 minutes ago while we were taping this. Texas schools to distribute DNA kits to parents to keep samples in the wake of Uvalde shooting. This is happening in El Paso. A new policy is taking effect at all primary public schools across Texas. Districts are required by state law to distribute DNA test kits to all parents to use on their kids in case they need to identify their children in an emergency situation. Although it's required for the state to send the test to the schools, it's 100% voluntary. Parents can decide not to take part. Here's what the law says. Participation in programs is completely voluntary and allows parents to take, store, and control their child's fingerprints and DNA in their own home in the event that it's ever needed. So, here is that law. This is from section 33.3355, paragraph A. A child's fingerprint card made under section 33.0053 or photograph for a child's kept under section 33.054. That's from the education code. So, I really think it's a good idea. But if parents don't want to do it, it's their choice. Okay, this mother says that her daughter died by suicide after being bullied by her schoolmates. Well, up next, we're going to hear her story, as well as people who are speaking out to Dr. Phil about being bullied. Don't go away. If you just joined us, all this month is National Bullying Month. We are talking about bullying and putting an end to it right away because, let me tell you guys something. Throughout the 6 years of the show, we've been talking about bullying and how to end it. We've played bully to really get you the sense of what's going on. And I take this bullying very seriously, and so does Dr. Phil.
It wasn't just passivity. You say that she was actually taunted, specifically, some by known bullies and some anonymously. And when you say she was taunted, how was she taunted?
Well, I learned through this experience that there are spam pages on Instagram that you can make, and you can pretty much post anything you want. You can say whatever you want. She didn't know about them. People were just laughing at school one day and just kind of giggling. She said, she asked someone, what are they laughing at? And they showed her a picture of herself, like her whole form, like from a distance. Someone snapped her picture from a distance, posted it on the spam page, and all of the comments were all the kids just saying what she looks like. She was embarrassed of her teeth. I just got her braces. She wanted the braces off because she was like, they talked about my teeth. Now that I have the braces, they're talking about what the teeth look like with the braces on. So she would never open her mouth. She will always keep it closed and not want to talk. And she started failing in school because she didn't want to show her teeth.
And they just created this page where people would just go on and just say ugly things.
Yeah.
And for no reason. It wasn't that she had conflict with these people. They just, for no reason, there wasn't any conflict, no arguments, no antagonism. They would just decide to start saying things about her.
Once they noticed that she was uncomfortable with them saying something, when they saw how much, I think someone joked at her one day, and she took it so personal, they knew that that was their ammunition. Because I asked her, I said, Tiara, what is going on? I mean, why are you the target? What's going on? Why doesn't anyone want to be your friend? I know that's a kind of, you probably can't answer that, but are you doing anything to make them want to target you? She was like, Mommy, no, I honestly just read my books. She read books for recess. So she would be the girl sitting on the side reading her book. And it started from there. They started posting pictures from there. They saw how uncomfortable she was with being, it's like they were targeting the exact thing she was insecure about, and it was bothering her to an extreme. We all have insecurities, but when people start to point them out, you can't handle it.
And a lot of this you found out after the fact.
Yes.
This isn't something you knew along the way.
She didn't like conflict. The first few incidents that she told me about, I went to the school to address these incidents. I wanted to speak with school officials. I even wanted to speak with parents. Is there something us as parents can speak about so that we can not make them be friends, but at least make them be able to be in the same environments and not have these issues?
You approached one mother to talk about it, right?
I did.
How'd that go?
Not well. The mom did not want to hear it. I don't even know what information she could have had prior to me speaking with her, but she did not want to talk to me.
It seemed like this group was just on a mission to break Muffin. You think this was... They were targeting, they were relentless, they were just on a mission.
They were, because I was reporting them to the school. It got very vicious when I started reporting it to the school officials, letting them know something needs to be done about these little girls. Now, what the school did on their end, I'm not sure. Nothing changed even when this was happening, so I was taking it upon myself to address parents and speak to them, because that's where it starts. What's going on to where our educators now have to be security guards and actually protect my daughter at school instead of teaching her? So how about I go to the source and speak to the parent? I want to talk to the mom or the dad or the guardian of the person that's raising this child. Because honestly, in my world, that's where it starts.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click.
Now, there's other cases about this. I mean, for years, Dr. Phil has been taking this very seriously, even when going to Capitol Hill to address this. But there's more about this. And tomorrow, Dr. Phil's going to have part 2 about being bullied to death. So let's hear more about what this mother has to say, and then we're going to take a break.
Tell me about the Saturday that this happened.
It was a Saturday. It was my oldest daughter, senior day. Muffin actually woke up that morning and fixed breakfast because it was a very important day. We celebrated pretty much everything in my household, especially my oldest daughter being a senior. I went home and Muffin's energy was off. So I said, hey, Muffin. I said, what's wrong? And she just seemed so overwhelmed with whatever because she wasn't too open with sharing her feelings. That's why we wrote, I had a mailbox outside of my room and so did she, because it was our way of communicating if she's uncomfortable telling me something. So I'll tell her, write me a letter and I'll write you a letter back and put it in your mailbox. So that's how we would communicate. So I asked her, I said, Muffin, are you sure you're okay? And she was like, Mommy, and she showed me something online. I immediately was perplexed, one, because I asked her not to entertain anything online any longer. Look how your energy is right now. So in that moment, I took all electronics from her room. Her cell phone, her laptop. And then I said, today is a day for family. We're going to cook. And we're going to watch movies. That was what my thought process was because my oldest daughter was enjoying her time outside the house. She normally comes with me to the grocery store. But because her energy was so off, she was like, Mommy, I'm just going to stay here and I'm going to clean my room. So I went to the grocery store. As I was pulling back in, I have a glass front door. I went to the trunk to get the groceries out of the car. He runs out and he couldn't speak. And I've never seen a look on his face. I said, what's wrong with you? And he was trying to talk, but as he's trying to talk to me, my other two daughters are standing in the door full of blood. And I don't see Muffin. So I don't even know what happened in that moment. Just got in the car and drove the car into the house. Like, I don't know what this moment was about. But then my daughter, it's like, Mommy, you have to come in the house. She fought. She was fighting because she had her book. She's on the talking bench. She's in my room. She was mentally fighting to stay. I do believe I do believe. But when I walked in my room, my daughter had took her own life on my talking bench. And I couldn't even save her life. And in that one moment, my grandmother always told me that a mother's love is the strongest love in the world. In this case, the hate of those enemies overpowered me. And that is why I feel anger, sometimes rage, because in this gray area of life that I'm experiencing right now, I am trying to save the lives of my other 4 children. One who cannot come outside because of her anxiety. The other 2 that I don't even see them when I look in their eyes. And my oldest who thinks that she needs to be strong in every way for me, and she's just a child. So I'm saving them. And any other little girl who thinks being different is weird, I want them to hear this story. You are not weird. Her movement will continue. Her life will not be in vain. It's so awful that all I got was 13 years with a child I invested so much in. The prize when you invest is to see them when they're older, to see a productive adult, something you brought into the world, be great.
Do you have a story?
We're going to hear from this woman coming up on Wednesday. But there's probably more to this case. You may have heard about Amy's Baking Company with Amy and Sam. Now, they appeared on Dr. Phil after that horrific episode of Kitchen Nightmares. When we come back, Dr. Phil had some advice after that episode saying the phrase I will never forget. We'll be right back. As you may know, bullying does not only does it happen at school and online, it can also happen in the workplace. Here's an example. Do you remember that episode of Kitchen Nightmares with Amy's Baking Company? Where Amy and Sam were on, where Kitchen Nightmares like going all like, online haters, this and this. It's just a gleaming example of people who are saying like, oh, can I show you this and that? Well, critics. Well, it's just, not only is it bullying, but there's critics. And there's a difference between bullies and critics. So the difference between constructive criticism and bullying is like teasing and all, but being critic is all like being rude. So it's a definition of number of rude. So let's take a look at this clip. Let's take a look.
You choose the behavior. When you choose the behavior, you choose the consequence. Every behavior you choose has some consequence. If I choose to get out of the chair, I choose to be standing. If I choose to respond to somebody on the internet, I've started a dialogue instead of there just being a comment out in the cyberspace. You can be self-righteous all you want. You can say, I'm standing for something. I'm being strong for who we are. Okay. That is absolutely your choice. But when you make that choice, you choose everything that comes downstream with it. Mm-hmm. I was invited to Capitol Hill to testify before a congressional committee on the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, because they wanted to know, they said, you've got your finger on the pulse of America. We want to know where we need to put focus. And I said, cyberbullying. Cyberbullying. We need to train the teachers. We need to take down the boundaries. And so what's the advice to kids that are being cyberbullied? The advice is unplug. If you're going on chat rooms and there are people on there telling you to go hang yourself, kill yourself or whatever, the first thing to do is just unplug. Because that is a virtual world, and when you unplug, it goes away. Unplug. Unplug here.
Do we have to unplug our phone at our business?
Yes, what I'm telling you is turn your phone off and close your business. You seriously, is that what you're hearing me say? Seriously? Or do you just want to argue?
She wants advice.
I want advice from you.
No, you don't. You want to argue. You want to be right. You want to be a right fighter, and when you right fight, then you choose what comes with it. No, I am not telling you to unplug your phone.
Okay.
I am telling you to stop reacting to the haters. Let the haters be motivators. But do not continue to engage these people. Unplug means stop reading that stuff. If somebody calls and says, I hope you hang up. Just hang up.
Well, we've been doing lately these, we've been...
That's what I'm telling you. But I mean, when I tell you this and you say, oh, so what do you mean to do? Turn off my phone and not let customers come in? Come on.
No, I don't feel that I'm sitting here defensive at all. I feel very safe here. I feel that we have been unfairly attacked. We attacked back. I understand everything that you're saying, but I'm asking you, when our phone at the restaurant, when we can't even conduct business because the phone is ringing nonstop, where we have to take it off the hook, and people who are making fake reservations or writing through our website to make reservations and they're not real people, they're affecting our business. That's what I'm saying when I have to unplug. Also, I've kept record of all of this to build my case. This is why I've been reading it, to show the world that this is happening and it's not something I'm just talking about.
Agreed. As an example of reacting to haters. Let's let the haters be motivators. And again, unplug. Unplug. It's a virtual world. If your child hears the words, I hope you die, just unplug. Block the person. Do not respond. If someone's picking on you saying, you're a bitch, you're a whore, I hope you fucking jump in a lake, this and this, unplug. Block the person. Report it to, if it's happening in school, report it to your school administrators. They can help you. And parents, like I said many times, if you feel like your child's school has failed your child, two things you can do. Number one, you can get funds at the next school board meeting. Number two, you can transfer your child to a different school where they have serious bullying policies. And in this state of Texas, they have strict bullying laws. Very strict. And schools have zero tolerance policies on bullying. And I think we have time for Dr. Phil's last advice on for teens on how to deal with those bullies. Because let me say this, I take this very, very seriously. If you're being bullied, who would want to be bullied? It's like this, something that needs to stop.
Changed my entire life because I basically had to start over at my new school.
So take a look.
It changed my entire life because I basically had to start over at my new school, which is really hard, meeting all new people, and trying to fit in again. And even on the first day, I didn't know that the girls, I guess, and the people that were involved in it sent the video to my new school, and they were watching it in the bathroom, and it's just embarrassing.
I'm surprised that that's the first word that you use to describe it. Embarrassment means shame to me. Why is that a relevant concept here?
I feel ashamed of what happened to me.
But did you feel like you did anything wrong?
No, I don't.
You weren't embarrassed that you didn't do something you should have done. You were embarrassed that you had been put on display in such a mean and unbecoming way. And the big problem about being bullied is that the bullies might say something to you like 30 times, but you repeat it 10,000 times. It isn't what they say, it's what you say to yourself about what they say. It's this internal dialogue you have, what you say to yourself about what happened. And you've got to take your power back. Hannah, do you hear what I'm saying?
That I can control how I feel about it.
It's not that you can, you do. Look, if you've got somebody that's bullying you, like both of you got jumped on, you took steps, you reported, you said the right things, you did the right things, and you still got attacked, right? Is that fair?
No.
No way it's fair. When you go to somebody in authority and you tell them what's going on, that's not tattling. You did the right things, Lily. You did the right things, and you still got attacked. The question is, what do you do when that unfair thing happens to you? Do you let that define you? Or you can say, well, wait a minute. I got to be my own best friend here. I have the power to choose how I feel about this. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I'm not going to be traumatized for the rest of my life. Behaviors have a beginning and an end. You two got attacked, lasted a few minutes, right? How long's it been?
Over a year, a few months.
And you're still affected by it today, right? You have not given yourself permission to get past it. You've not given yourself permission to say, I encountered some sick people, some small people, some petty people, some jealous people. I want you to change choices. You're already choosing how you feel about it. If this is brought up to you, what you going to say about it? Aren't you that girl I got beat up on the tape? Yeah, it was one of the worst times of my life. Did you have a question about it? Oh, you know what's going to happen? They're going to go, oh, no, I guess I don't. This isn't something where time heals all wounds. Time heals nothing. It's what you do with that time, okay? What I want you to do is 5 years from now, I want you to look back and say, that event became the springboard for me being tough, focused, and able to help other people move along.
As a victim, you need to be tough. Telling on someone, telling the authorities, administrators, whatever, it's not tattling. You're doing the right thing. And if you still get jumped on, do it again. And if you get jumped on, do it again. Jump on, again, jump, again, jump, again, jump, again, jump, again. You get what I'm saying here? If you keep doing this, obviously, they're probably going to stop unless you take it to the higher authority, the police, the attorneys. If you feel that the school's done nothing, the final step you can do, sue the school district. And they'll learn from their mistakes. Like Dr. Phil's always saying, when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences. It's better than being dead. It's better than losing money. It's better than being in a juvenile detention center for looking at porn. It's better than being in jail. It's a way of saying, I've made a mistake. I've got to own up to it. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Monday. Tomorrow, on the Give Me a Break YouTube channel, we're going to look at more of the Nicholas Cruz case. And we'll see you again for Give Me a Break Wednesday. For all of us here at Give Me a Break and YouTube. Good night, everyone. And stop bullying, speak up.